You guys went up 12 with like 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, and then it was a 1-point game going into the fourth. Just what do you see kind of in that 3-minute stretch there?
Just loose turnovers. I had a lot of turnovers early that I shouldn't have had. And then the loose turnovers is just miscommunication, and they capitalized off of every one.
Yeah, I mean, you guys didn't have CJ, Jose, Dyson. You know, how hard is it to just have a game where you don't have that many guards active?
I mean, we have a lot of guys out, but we still went into the game with the mindset of we're going to win this. And it was a very winnable game for us, but I think we just beat ourselves on a lot of things.
Willie talked about, late game situations with turnovers, defensive rebounds, and free throws. How much have you kind of seen that as a consistent problem in your situations?
Early in the season, it was definitely a big problem for us with all the above and what you spoke on. But I feel like we've definitely improved on it. But tonight, we had some slippage. And I've said it all season, if we want to be one of those elite teams, those contenders, can't do that.
Not trying to get you fined, but I mean, another night with just 2 free throw attempts. Willie talked about disparity between calls you weren't getting, some of the calls DeRozan was getting. I mean, what do you think when you know the style you play in and you look at the box score and there's 2 free throw attempts?
I didn't get fouled. That's all I can say. I didn't get fouled. They didn't call it. I didn't get fouled.
Z, how much more advantageous is it when one team's sending a guy 10 times more free throw line when the other team doesn't?
I can't answer these questions. I mean, this is tough. I can feel a way, but I'm not a ref. I've never reffed a game in my life.
Something a little more positive. These last few games, you guys, your starting group in particular, has played really well together. I know it's been kind of an up and down thing prior to that. Just what do you attribute the success to that you guys are finding right out the break with that starting group?
Momentum, and just like we said, been saying all year. But before the season, we played 10 games together. Our chemistry is like coming together. So the more we're on the court together, the better we get, and the more we learn. Okay, maybe with this matchup, this game, it's gonna be Bi to start to set the tone, or maybe it's gonna be CJ, or maybe it's gonna be me. It's just our chemistry and then our pace. Our pace is up.
You talked a lot about being a point guard your whole life. Your former teammate, J.J. Redick, was on a podcast recently talking about specifically the last few games when you've been initiating the action, the possession efficiency has been something crazy, like 1.4 points per possession. Just what are you seeing out there in terms of those reads? You've had a couple of high assist nights, and just is it enjoyable to be able to play the style of basketball that you say you've grown up playing?
It's very enjoyable. And I've said it before, I'm just glad my coaches and my teammates trust me to do that. What I see is I'm aggressive on the attack, but if there's 4 people there and I have shooters wide open, I just find them. I kind of know I kind of look to where the help's going to come from, and once I locate that, I just find the shooter or the open man.
Zion, how has your opinion changed of Herb Jones? Last 2 months, he's shooting probably close to 50% from 3. When you look at him, do you see a shooter out there?
You can't just leave him open. Before, you can tell teams would try to leave him open, but what is he shooting 3, like 40, 41? He's shooting a hot clip to where, in my opinion, every time he has a 3, I think it's good. So I feel like other teams are definitely starting to respect that a lot, and I mean, y'all see him, he gets downhill really well. So his offensive game is just improving and improving.
You talked a lot about Trey kind of going through ups and downs on offense, but seeing him get 10 boards tonight, the other night he had 3 steals, 3 blocks, just seeing him finding other ways to impact the game. How important is that?
I mean, that's just growth as a player. If your bread and butter isn't working consistently and you're, like you said, going through ups and downs, to stay in the game, you got to find other ways to impact the game, and I think he's done a really good job with that.
Just kind of going back to you looking at the help, and specifically how good Herb's been shooting from that corner. How much are you just kind of looking at that low man, seeing if they're coming over just a little too much, and knowing you trust someone like Herb out there to shoot it?
Teams mix it up. They don't. Some teams, I think they'll wait to see how aggressive I'm gonna be when it comes to scoring. And other teams are just more loaded up, so sometimes it's just the one dribble drive, easy kick out. But other nights is more aggressive with scoring.
All right, thanks.